Hi, thank you for being there. I know it's late. I think it's the last slot today. So I'll try to make it short and sweet. If you're looking for opportunities to transform an industry today, we think that one of the best ways to do it is to look for unexploited data. And I'm going to run for you a case, a real case, on how are we trying to transform a very important but not so relevant industry in terms of AI, which is mobile operators, right? So this is a metaphor of what we're going to do. This is my city. This is Barcelona. Bird's eye, bird's view. So in a given point in time, we may have 1 million connected smartphones there. People are doing all sorts of things. And this means that there is massive data that could be exploited if you knew how and where to find it. Something like 1 gigabyte of data per second could be generated in this type of activity. So if you could accumulate the activities that people are doing, not just individually, but as a group, you will see, for example, that every minute in the world, there is 1 million people logging in Facebook, or 40 million people sending WhatsApp messages, or maybe sending 200 million email messages. All this information, all this data, goes through one type of industry, which is telcos. Here you have some example of them. The truth is, however, that telcos don't know how to extract information from all this data that traverses their network. This is the challenge we saw that could be worth to accept and do something for this industry in order to make it more relevant. Because this industry, mobile operators, are network-centric, and our mission, fonYou's mission, is to make them centered in the customer-centric. So this is a typical, boring, picture of high level of the infrastructure that a carrier has. You know these acronyms, 4G, 5G. This is what it's behind. Some machines that are optimized for transferring bytes left to right, right to left. What if you could add some intelligence to this, connecting to the right places and being able to channel all this data and apply ML to understand what the users are doing in order to serve them better, to actually propose them better things. This is kind of a dream for this industry, and this is actually what we're trying to do with our technology. So essentially, this thing works the following way. There is a massive amount of events coming into our platform. If you look from the distance, these events are noise, a lot of things. You don't know what to do with them. But if you have a purpose, for example, identifying millennial parents, you could be able to find patterns with ML in this massive amount of data that will tell you that you have this many millennial parents in your network now, and you could do something for them. So the challenge is typically like this. If you are talking of 1 million users, they will generate for you 3 petabytes every month. This means 3 times 10 raised to the 15th power of, if you want to understand it a different way, 50 years of high-definition video. And you have to find the needle in a huge haystack, and for that you need some very smart algorithms. So we've been doing that already in production. We're helping 150 million customers in several carriers today, doing real things like, for example, giving them loans in real time, because we analyze the data and we find patterns that tells us that we can do that. And our technology actually works in 2 different planes. This is the learning plane. You have to, in order to do things at scale, you have to split the problem as much as you can. So what we do is to have an offline, very powerful platform for learning. There you see our 3 phases. We prepare and explore data in a massive, we put it in a massive data lake, where we run, build and train models that are later deployed in order to obtain 2 types of information about users. First, what type of user I have here? Taking a look at the behavior on time, I may learn that you like to do gaming at night, you work in an office in the morning, and in the weekends, you like to be outdoors. That's a type of cluster. We call this a customer map. And this is extracted from the data after a period of observation. And the other type of models that we learn how to apply are real-time models that detect what you are doing at this time. Are you active, or is your phone in a table? Are you taking a taxi or an Uber, or are you making a payment? These two informations are important in order to be able to do useful work in real time with any customer. The real-time part of this, the one that processes this brutal amount of data I mentioned before, is this other plane, the plane of a real-time inference. We take data from many sources, we ingest it, do pre-processing, and then apply the ML models that we learned before. These ML models are optimized for real-time operation. Not any model, even if it's the optimal one, maybe it's not adequate for real-time operation. It has to be something that can be processed at scale. We do a lot of self-scaling thing in our platform in order to be able to have the right computing power every time. Probably you know that telcos is a very difficult company to work for, industry to work for, because the pattern of usage of the telecom network is not constant, and it's very important to have elastic resources in order not to die in trying to pay for this, right? So this platform actually is able to process, in a typical instance, billions of events a day and extract the relevant information to make millions or tens of millions of useful proposals or transactions. And this is what we do every day in our business. So the end result of this, the way we domesticate this technology, is to put in front of the marketing people of the carriers a tool in which they can, for example, in this case, see the customer map of millennial parents in a typical country. They are seeing in real time that they have 2.3 million of these profiles active today now in the network, and they can launch pilot campaigns. They can see how they're accepting a new product, or they could see, for example, that only 5% of them have subscribed the latest Disney offer for families, and they could be running a campaign for that. Okay, so this is the way that all this technology I described before is seen in real operation. So this is what I wanted to say, and now, if there is time, I'll be happy to take a few questions.
Any questions? All right.
Thank you very much.